Dynamics of the internet are the dynamics of growth. But the point is that the growth that is coming from the internet is not producing jobs. It's not going to produce jobs because it's going to go into a self-service economy rather than a service economy. And in addition, I'm more and more perplexed by the business model behind it, because other than Google, it's making a hell of a lot of money, I can get all my information through the iPhone. Why should I buy a newspaper? And soon, why should I buy a book? Because everything is going to be there. So I don't understand the business model. Said, what does he mean by depression economics? Well, what he means by depression economics is the economics of abundance, where we have so much that we're not willing to pay for anything more. 6 billion people on Earth and already 4 billion cell phones. As you say, David, there's a lot of cars, a lot of things. So as we reach the saturation of wants, how are we going to keep everybody employed? Because what's happening is there's a concentration of wealth, and everybody else is getting, the consumers are getting something for nothing, at least the information consumers like we are. Well, how can you make money there? It's a very dangerous situation, and I think this is part of the structural problem that we're facing above and beyond finance.
I think the analogy that he used is the one that I also often think of is that the internet is a bit like the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. And you want to figure out if you're a dinosaur or if you're the mammal that adapted to the circumstances after the meteor hit. Because what you're talking about is an incredibly effective tool that the internet allows you to super-empower individuals. I myself run a business also from my home office, which I would never be able to do 10 years ago. But the death of the industry that we're lamenting today, that Diana and I were talking about earlier, the newspaper industry, some of it is due to self-inflicted wounds, but largely is due to a company called Craigslist. Many of you may have used it, some of you may have heard of it. Perhaps you don't know that Craigslist employs 8 people.
Amazing.
8.
Yeah, that's right.
As in less than 10. It was also started by the aforementioned Craig Newmark in San Francisco as a bulletin board, effectively, in San Francisco to exchange information and kind of create an electronic garage sale environment, essentially. Well, what he started created this tidal wave of classified advertising that moved from the newspaper to the Craigslist environment and essentially decimated the only pillar upon which newspapers existed. And so, among other reasons, the newspaper industry is dying, but it's dying largely and perhaps accelerated by the actions of 8 people. And so Craigslist has become this enormous entity, and some of the most successful companies in the internet, eBay and others, are incredibly good at generating income for individuals, but they decimate entire industries. And so that's why I think the analogy for me, even though I'm a purveyor of the internet, someone who lives with the internet and could not live without it, is that it is the aforementioned meteor that is creating an ice age that will kill dinosaurs. And we have to figure out what are the industries that are the mammals that will adapt to the new world.
Thank you very much, sir. Wait a minute now, please.